Hey guys, this is Professor Singh. Welcome to summer class. Class is in session. Hey, listen, I'm hoping you're having a great time and I hope you are ready to do some science and let's build something really powerful this summer, right? Let's begin. So I'm going to tell you my story because hopefully my story energizes you guys. I think of me as an industrial scientist who hasn't coded for many, many years, just working out how to gain control back because all these coders around me seem really intelligent, but they don't seem to understand science. So is it a UFO? Is it an AI bot? Is it an agent? No, man, it's a tool which we're going to use and we're going to get some value from. My whole gig started when I got very frustrated with all these folks using all these AI tools and promoting them on LinkedIn. And you knew it was over promotion. And you knew these guys didn't understand the real challenges in science. So I thought, oh, let's get to grips with this properly. And then I thought, how am I going to do that? And then I heard about this tool called OpenClaw, and that was very populated. But that was really good at finding inference of information. You know, if I knew data point A, data point B, it could infer something in between them. And that's our problem, right, in science. Right? We've got a lot of data, but it's not enough data, and it's always noisy, and it's never sufficient to get to where we need. So I turned around and I went to my buddy, Claude. Hey, we got to have somebody, right? And my buddy's Claude. So I thought, I'm going to spend the last few months working out how to use Claude to build things. And I haven't coded in decades. And I thought, I'm going to get back to it, but I'm not going to learn to code. I'm going to get Claude to do the coding for me. Think about the whole notion of a glacier. I'm the bit showing, and then the glacier underneath the water, that 80%, which you can't see, that's Claude doing all the work for me, whether it's the bigger models or whatever. I said to myself, I'm going to take this OpenClaw concept, which I installed. If you go to scienceclaw.ai, you can go see I've done some oncology trial stuff there. And I'm going to create my own version, which is small, controlled, focused on drug discovery, and infers things which are useful to drug discovery. So I went to my buddy Claude and I said, Claude, help me out here. And I started doing all this conversation with Claude, and you go building this, and I went round and round and had all these conversations. And I'll tell you, it's amazing learning. So with Claude, I went and built Fred. And Fred is like this OpenClaw version I mentioned earlier. I called it Fred because I don't like marketing and I don't like marketing jazz. So Fred seems a good name. If your name's Fred, hey, this is after you. And then you have to build a harness around it because in science, it's all about interrogation and adversarial commentary and finding those inferences that matter, that are real and that have promise behind them with the right, references. And then I thought, okay, I've got the engine Fred, but what am I going to do with this thing? I'm going to build it into a real application which people care about. And again, this is the non-coder speaking. I'm not an academic. I'm an industrial guy. And I'm thinking, I'm going to build this into something useful for academics. I asked a few friends, a couple of academics, a couple of industrial folks, scientists, what's valuable? And they said, compound dossiers, you can scrape information like PubMed, PubChem, Embor, Open Targets, but they give you lots of data points, but they're not enough. And it's not rich enough to do drug discovery. And I thought, that's what Fred is good for. And Fred is secure, remember, and it's adaptable and it's a module. So I'm going to go do this thing. So I'm going to build Fred into a compound insights engine, and I'm going to create this engine. Please go and have a look, projectfred.dev, by the way. That's where I went. And I went to projectfred.dev from there, and I created this compound insights inference engine. And then from there, I scraped all these websites and these things you guys know all about. But then I went off and I implemented Fred inside that. And Fred is inferring all this information, which has confidence behind it. Let's think about the citations and the confidence. And this is really, really exciting because now we're enriching, we're creating a supposition of information. In this case, this is about imatinib. And so go check it out, compoundinsights.dev. And you can go play with it. And in fact, I even put a large language model here where you can ask a question. Here I've asked quite a complex question on that database, and here's the result. And all this building out, and I thought, I've got to go tell the world. So my buddies and I would work out how do we tell the world? And there's only 2 or 3 of us, right? And we're doing this part-time, not full-time job. We're not trying to create a startup. This is all about intellectual interest. And then I heard SLS have got these AI special issues coming out. One in SLS Discovery, one in SLS Technology Journals. So I thought, this is going to the Discovery Journal. This has to go. So I'm going to spend the rest of the summer adding 1 or 2 more compounds here. Please reach out, by the way, if you work out what compounds should be here. If you go to my website, raminderpalsingh.com, my email's in there, go contact me. And we're going to spend the summer upgrading this a little bit and then writing a paper and submitting it to the AI special issues. Listen, if I can do this stuff, you can do this stuff. Just go after this stuff, become an AI geek and win it and change the world. I hope you enjoyed summer class today. Class is closed. This is Professor Singh wishing you a great, great time.